A lot of people seem to be moving towards iPhones these days because of the price drops, be it the iPhone 10R, the 11 or the 12. So the price point around 40 to 50k has become even more confusing. So in this video, let's talk about whether you should save money by getting the S20 FE 5G or get the iPhone 12. This should also give an idea for the S21 buyers or the iPhone 11 buyers as well. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe, like this video guys. Let's begin. So first up, the S20 looks taller and quite sleek, I would say. It's also bigger at 6.5 inches versus 6.1 inches on the iPhone 12. But the 12 feels lightweight and actually feels a lot more compact. So in terms of one-hand usability, the iPhone is a little bit better, I would say. Also, I like the flat edges on the iPhone 12 versus the rounded edges on the S20. But this is a personal choice. But on the back, you will also notice that it has the glass back on the iPhone 12 versus the plastic back on the S20. So overall, the iPhone 12 definitely feels a bit more premium. But practically most people use cases with their phones, so it really shouldn't matter much. Also, the good thing is both of them have the IP68 water rating. Also, both of them support wireless charging. Now talking about the display, the color temperature on the iPhone 12 feels a bit more warmer versus cooler on the S20. I mean, you can tweak the settings and get the desired result on the S20. As you can see, I actually did do some settings on the S20 to get the cooler tones that I wanted, but on the iPhone you don't have such settings here, but you can do some settings in the accessibility settings, but I still couldn't get the desired result. So in this regard, I personally prefer cooler tones, so it's up to you guys. But talking about consuming content like watching videos, both of them are pretty good. It was really hard for me to pick one over the other, but purely because of the size, I would prefer the S20 FE 5G for watching videos. But sadly, the S20 does not support HDR in Netflix, so keep that in mind. But the biggest downgrade for me is going from 120Hz to the 60Hz. I mean, this is literally an issue for me. So if you are using a 120Hz refresh rate and going to an iPhone with 60Hz, you really need to adapt, at least as per my experience. Otherwise, you can choose either of these happily. So moving to the performance, let's look at the Geekbench scores here. You can see the iPhone 12 is almost twice as fast. It's basically a lot faster than the Snapdragon 865 on the S20. But what's more interesting is look at the GPU scores. The iPhone 12 is almost like 3 times faster or powerful than the S20. But in terms of day-to-day tasks like not doing any CPU intensive things like editing or rendering videos or gaming, you don't find much of a difference. As you can see, I tried opening a few apps and both of them are kind of very close, a few seconds here and there, but not a huge difference. In fact, some apps actually loaded first on the S20 FE 5G, as you can see here. Now the S20 has that telephoto lens which is very useful, but the iPhone lacks. But apart from that, here are some quick samples. It's easy to notice that the S20 takes more saturated pictures compared to the iPhone, as you can see here, but it's a personal choice. But apart from that, if you look at the dynamic range, both of them are comparable, but the S20 seems to blow up the exposure at times. Also, if you look at the wide angle, in fact the iPhone colors actually seem to pop a bit more compared to the S20, which actually kind of mutes the colors in the wide angle. Also, the distortion on the wide angle lens is similar on both of these. I was expecting better on the iPhone. Now this is not a good example as you generally shoot a landscape or a longer shot with the wide angle, but you can see the iPhone becoming almost an iPad in the corners, and the same thing happens even on the iPhone, as you can see here. The point is, people have some unrealistic expectations from iPhones, so I hope this clears that up. Finally, moving to the battery life, I did not have much expectations, but I must say the iPhone 12 does have pretty good battery life. It lasts about 6 to 7 hours of screen on time, at least as per my usage. Maybe a little less compared to the S20, but really I didn't feel any huge difference between the two. I don't want to talk about the software because it's a personal choice between iOS and Android. You can check out my recent video on that. The iPhone 12 is the only phone that stands head to head with its Android counterparts in this price range. I don't consider 11 because it does not have a full HD display or AMOLED, but if you minus that refresh rate on the 12, this is the phone that you should at least get in 2022. So that's been it for this video, guys. If you found this video helpful, please like and also subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.